Hey Mama, welcome to the podcast. My name is Jocelyn and I am a fellow mom of 5, as I mentioned at the beginning of most of these podcasts. But I'm here with you just sharing what I've learned and what I felt through going through 5 pregnancies. Pregnancy was hard for me. And if you find pregnancy hard for you, you will like this podcast because it offers mindset tips to help the hard feel not quite as hard and not quite as heavy. So join in. We are actually going through a pregnancy week by week right now, and we are on week 25. Let's jump into it. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, fellow mom of 5 and host of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find the positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Let's find positivity during our pregnancies and in our motherhood together. Thanks for joining. All right, Mama. So about this time in your pregnancy, your baby is about the size of a smaller head of cauliflower. They weigh about 1.5 pounds. Their startle reflex is also starting to develop. And I remember with my last baby, I'm sure they did this with all the babies, but I don't remember it as well. But the doctor actually held the baby and did like a little startle reflex test by just like not dropping them, but gently moving them down to see if the startle reflex was there. And so that is actually a healthy reflex for the babies. The babies are also developing their sense of equilibrium. Some of the research I did said that they know when they're upside down and right side up now. If their feet are down, that is called breech. You don't have to worry about what position they're in at this point in your pregnancy. But if their feet are down, you'll likely feel the kicks like by your bladder. And if their feet are up or if their head is down, you'll likely feel kicks or movements in the ribs. For me, it was just different with each baby. One of my babies, my last baby, my 5th one, really liked to kick and hang out in my ribs. So he was head down a lot of the time. But some of the other ones definitely felt a lot of kicks in the bladders, and your baby can move. Maybe one day you'll feel kicks in the ribs and one day you'll feel kicks in the bladder. So they can kind of move around. Your baby's lungs are also starting to grow stronger, and they're starting to, so this is like the air quotes, breathe through their nostrils. They don't breathe oxygen in utero or in the womb, but they're like practicing those breathing motions. And as early as week 25, I thought that was kind of cool. For you are growing. You are growing all around. Your placenta is growing and thickening. The amniotic fluid is increasing. Your baby is growing. Your breasts are filling with colostrum, and you're likely gaining weight. Now, this is good and this is healthy, but for some of you who are not used to gaining weight or who have been thin, sometimes the gaining weight can be a little bit difficult. It can be a hard thing to know or to think you're gaining weight, and maybe even having the thoughts or the fears of not being able to lose the weight after. And I'm going to tell you a couple things on that. These are some mindset things that I had to work through when gaining weight through pregnancy. And the first one was, don't worry about it right now. And actually gaining weight is good and healthy for your baby. So instead of feeling annoyed and frustrated about gaining weight, I want you to choose to think how healthy and good it is for your body and for your baby to gain some weight. And the other thing I wanted to mention was you don't have to worry about losing that weight for a while. So just push it from your mind. There will come a time when maybe you want to lose the baby weight. There's a lot of things that can help you to do that, but at this point in your pregnancy, don't even think about that. So just enjoy this pregnancy, enjoy the beautiful things that are happening, enjoy your baby bump and your body growing in the way that it should be for your baby. It really is good, beautiful, and amazing. I know I've mentioned this before, but in my research it came up again, so I thought I'd mention it again. But some of you may have noticed the linea nigra that is showing up on your belly. It's like from your belly button, and it's like a darker line of skin. This shows up because of some of the increase of hormones. And you also may have noticed some melasmas, which are dark spots in your skin that they also tend to go away after pregnancy, but there are products on the market that can help lighten them. So I haven't had problems or haven't cared too much about these things. And so I've never personally really treated them, but there are women who do care and who want to try and lighten these darkening spots. Look into things that can help you with that. I'm sorry I'm not a good help for that, but just know there are things that can help, and they usually do go away after pregnancy. And that's probably why I didn't worry about it too much, and I also didn't have too much of a problem with those. So something I wanted to talk about to you that I did not know until my 5th baby. I did not know about this until I hired a doula with my 5th baby, and she taught my husband and I about spinning babies. And if I remember right, it was around this time, maybe even a little later, like 30 weeks or so. Nonetheless, I am a big believer in spinning babies. My 5th labor and delivery was pretty amazing. I mean, it was hard because it's labor and delivery, but for a labor and delivery, things went really well. And I attribute a lot of that, not a lot, but a bit of it to doing these spinning baby exercises. So it's basically just simple, easy exercises that you do with your partner, your husband, that can help get the baby into good positioning for labor and delivery. And I really do feel like it made a difference. So I will link a couple of videos in the show notes. Highly recommend it. Even if you don't plan to have a baby all naturally and unmedicated, I still would recommend getting your baby into an ideal position for labor and delivery, because that can help you to be able to have the baby vaginally. And there's a lot of good things with it. And they're just simple exercises. It really only takes probably 5 or 10 minutes in the evening. And it's not really hard, but I would highly look into spinning babies. Another thing that you might have noticed that I probably should have mentioned with the weight gain is some pregnancy swelling. It's called edema, and some women have noted that walking can help the edema. And another woman noted that she had good success doing the brewer's diet. I actually should probably do a whole podcast on the brewer's diet, because there is some amazing things that his research and the research done with eating and pregnancy, and what a difference it does make in toxemia and edema and high blood pressure, all of that. So look into the brewer's diet. I know some of you might need that suggestion. I know it helped me. And she claimed that when she implemented that with her pregnancy, she didn't have hardly any swelling at all. So if you're feeling like you're overly swelling and you want to get that down naturally, look into the brewer's diet. I think the brewer's diet is just good all around for pregnancy. I've tried to implement a lot of the recommendations in my last couple pregnancies, and I think that also makes a difference as well. So lots to think about, lots to research, lots to kind of keep your mind going on this pregnancy. I want you to change the negative to the positive this week. That is actually one of the little categories in my course, is to change the negative to the positive. So the negative things that you could be dealing with this week are that you're feeling fat. And instead of thinking all the negative things about the fat, I've already mentioned this, choose to think fat is good for the baby. I also want you to breathe. Do some deep breathing. As your belly fills up, sometimes it's hard to or it's not easy to remember to have some good breathing. But good breathing is key. Good breathing can help you clear your mind, it can help your baby, and it can help in labor and delivery. There's lots of different breathing techniques out there. Bridget Tyler has one on her website that I really started practicing just in the evening when I was in bed. The de-stressor, if I can spit it out, the de-stressor breath. So highly recommend looking into that. And then the other tip for mindset is to smile. Sometimes you get thinking about all the things you want to do, or all the things you want to look into, or all the things that still need to be done, and it can be overwhelming, and you can be like short of breath and stressed. But as you take some time to smile at yourself, it can help. These little things do help. In fact, I put a lot of these little things in this course that I created called the Morning Sickness Mini Course for Mental Health. Now, it's called Morning Sickness because that was the time I needed this course the most. I struggled mentally during the morning sickness phase every time, and so I needed it for that. But these videos are pregnancy specific, not just morning sickness specific, they're pregnancy specific. But I really want to reach out to those who are struggling in the morning sickness, and then the videos will help through the rest of pregnancy. And smiling, it's so simple, but we forget to do it. And it also is another way to release endorphins, to find more positivity, and to enjoy your pregnancy more. So allow yourself to smile and keep going, mama. I will put a bunch of links in the show notes to the things that I have talked about in this episode, so that'll save you a little bit of time researching, and you can just listen to or watch or read whichever resource stands out to you, whether it be the Spinning Babies, the Brewer's Diet, and there was one more I talked about that if I remember, or I'll go back and listen and put it in the show notes. Oh, the de-stressor breath. Those were the 3 things I wanted to put in the notes. So I will get those in there for you. Keep going. If you need extra help, mama, try this Morning Sickness mini course. It is no actual exercising. They are simple videos or audios to help you through pregnancy, because I know pregnancy can be really hard. As you shift your mind, your pregnancy becomes easier, it becomes better, and you have a better mindset on pregnancy. That's what we're trying to do, to have a more healthy mindset this pregnancy and find more positivity in pregnancy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. But most of all, thank you for implementing these things into your own life. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts and becoming the mother that you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. Thanks for joining. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward in your motherhood. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.